There you are. I'll be heading down below shortly. There's nothing worth. No worries.
Hello and welcome along to part 23 of this Dark Souls guide and playthrough. Today we are going to be preparing for the Demon Ruins and then heading to the Demon Ruins. There's quite a few wee things we've got to take care of before we get there. First thing we're going to do is head to the female merchant in the sewage tunnel. The reason you want to go there is because you want to, and I didn't mean to do that. Luckily I managed to get away with it. Very, very lucky there. Not that it matters, if you die you just pick your souls up again. I think sometimes people make too much of death in this game. It's an experience that most players should have as they play through the game. It wouldn't be Dark Souls if you didn't die at least a few dozen times through your own playthrough. Anyway, digressing there. Yeah, you want to go to the female merchant because you want to pick up poison arrows and purple moss clumps. Pick up at least, I would say, 5 purple moss clumps and at least 50 arrows, poison arrows. Okie dokie. The reason you need the purple moss clump is there's an NPC that requires that at some point later on, and if you don't have any, yeah, you can't continue his questline. I also want to pick up poison arrows because there's an enemy in the Demon Ruin that's susceptible to poison arrows, and it's a particularly annoying enemy, so it's a good way to take that enemy out without having to get too close to it. I'm also going to try something with poison arrows I've never tried before. I'd read something in a guide. I know I'm cheating by reading a guide before I make my own guide, but I guess we've all got to find ways and methods somehow. I'm picking up some prism stones and purging stones. Purging stones, remember, get rid of curse. Apparently they've got like a skeleton, part of a skeleton in them, or bones in them or something, these purging stones. Anyway, picking up some of these items because we're going to go to the crow, Snuggly the Crow, back at the asylum and trade with him. Because I want to pick up a ring. It's called the Ring of Fog, and it basically makes you kind of almost invisible. It basically like bends the light around your character, making you definitely much more conspicuous. Or is that inconspicuous? I always get these two mixed up. Anyway, make your way back to Firelink Shrine. Where are we getting else? We'll just talk to Laurentius because we need to pick up Flash Sweat. So make sure you get Flash Sweat before going to the Demon Ruins.
My teacher, whom I imagine still resides in the Great Swamp, had a funny way of putting it. He said that pyromancy is the ultimate fantasy. We are born into dark and warmed by fire, but this fire we cannot touch. Those whose fascination with fire persists learn to hold it in their own hand. He rather had a way with words, the old withering frog.
I'm not sure who Laurentius is talking about when he refers to a he. There's Quailag's sister, Quilana, who's a pyromancy trainer, but she's definitely female, and she resides in the Great Swamp. Anyway, take out these torch hollows. I love that attention to detail that FromSoft have included in this part of the game. That when you return to the asylum, it's got a different atmosphere, and it's guarded at this point because obviously you've made a successful escape. Anyway, to trade the Ring of Fog you need the Skull Lantern. So place the Skull Lantern in Snuggly the Crow's nest. Only place the Skull Lantern, then quit and reload the game, and the Ring of Fog will be there waiting for you if you've done it successfully. I would suggest maybe trying with a less valuable item first of all, something like a prism stone before using the skull lantern, just to make sure you know how to successfully acquire items from Snuggly. Because if you lose the skull lantern, that would be a real pain in the ass. You'd have to go back through the catacombs and try and get a drop from somewhere or other. I also traded a few other items with Snuggly there, but I just kind of skipped those parts. What you want to do now is you want to make your way back towards Undead Parish. There's an NPC I want to go and see just now. I've just kind of skipped forward a wee bit there. But yeah, just go back in the lift towards Undead Parish. And you'll notice in a few videos before I kept looking up to the left, and the reason for that is because Rhea from Tomb of the Giants should be here.
Hello. I will never forget what you did. I am deeply indebted, for it was not within my power to save Vince or Nico. I cannot thank you enough. In case you have not heard, I am Rhea of Thorland. I only wish there was some way I could help you. But I am inexperienced and I only know the art of miracles. If that could be of any help, speak to me again.
So she sells miracles and...
Would a miracle be of any help to you? I would be most pleased if that were so. May we discuss miracles then?
Also learn a gesture from her. She sells some very good miracles if you're a faith character. What's more interesting to me is the fact that
Nico were fooled by a lout named Patches and turned into hollows. My prayers did them no good. It is my ignorance, my frailty that has sealed their fates. Perhaps Petrus realized my weakness all along.
Petrus
He made the decision to abandon me.
abandoned her.
I hardly blame him now.
Well, I think we could blame him.
Nico were fooled by a
And Patches, obviously she mentioned Patches tricked her in the Tomb of the Giants. You know what Patches' trick is.
Me? I've become separated from my lady. I've scoured near and far, but no sight of her. Where could she have gone? My lady, to think I swore to protect you with my life.
I cut this piece of footage in to show you his side of the story. This is Petrus.
Your Highness, where have you gone?
He claims to not know where she's
I am
gone.
to blame for this. Oh, woe is me. I am unworthy, deathly so.
So yeah, I just cut that footage in to show you that Petrus claims in between the Tomb of the Giants and elsewhere, if you go to Petrus, he'll give you that line of dialogue. Because you remember that at one point Vince, Nico and Rhea were with Petrus at Firelink Shrine, and then apparently Petrus gave them a mission to go on in Tomb of the Giants. Obviously intending for them to be killed. He might have even struck a deal up with Patches. But yeah, we'll go back and kill Petrus for that. He's not going to get away with that. We'll do that later on. What to do next is come down here and give him the large divine ember that we picked up in Tomb of the Giants.
What a brilliant ember you have there. I've only heard legends of such specimens. The embers used for the secret rites of divine blacksmiths. Perhaps you could lend it to me. I've long dreamed of forging divine weapons.
Yep, just give it to him. So that'll allow you to upgrade divine weapons from plus 6 to plus 10.
Thank you. Andre the Restorer never disappoints. I assure you.
What else? I'm going to upgrade the Black Knight Halberd. It's useful in the Demon Ruins against some of the larger enemies. So it's upgraded with Twinkling Titanite, and we've got 15. Unfortunately it's 2,000 souls each upgrade level, but it's worth it. You can only upgrade it to plus 5, and it takes 10 Twinkling Titanites to get it to plus 5. And the good thing is, remember in the earlier episodes I recommended holding on to some of your soul items, like for example Soul of a Brave Warrior, etc, etc. because it's good to have like a piggy bank, so if you need to do upgrades you can do that. Anyway, so I've done that and upgraded the Black Knight Halberd to +5. What we're going to do now is we're going to go and pay a visit to an old friend, and to do that we're going to go to the New Londo Ruins, just the entrance to New Londo Ruins. So we're going to go down in the elevator, and you can actually, under normal circumstances, I would actually just warp to Quaelag's domain, the Daughter of Chaos bonfire, but you'll remember that I killed Quaelag's sister. Anyway, let me talk about this section here first. You can see that there's an old friend. Here he comes to say hello. Nope, he's coming here to stab us, so we'll have to take him out. This is the crestfallen warrior, and he's gone hollow. He's gone hollow basically because he's came down here and into this oppressive atmosphere of the New Londo Ruins, and it's caused him to go insane, just like all the other hollows that are around here. He's very easy. He's slow. His moves are telegraphed. He doesn't have masses of health. Easy. So yeah, this is the S-stock. Pick up the S-stock. I didn't pick it up the first time round. I prefer Ricard's Rapier, but some people prefer the S-stock. It's a thrusting sword. Good if you've got the Leo ring or the Hornet ring. I can never remember which is which. Anyway, what to do now is I've unfortunately had to run all the way back here. I was back in the Great Swamp. If you haven't killed the Quaelag sister, the Fair Lady, warp to the Daughter of Chaos bonfire and make your way back here again. The reason why is obvious now. I guess you can see the NPC over there. We'll go and talk to him in a minute. And this is the reason you need the purple moss clumps. And you'll remember as well that these giant slugs, leeches, whatever they are, have a great chance of dropping large titanite shards and green titanite shards. It's the best farming area in the game for large shards and green shards. I've just put on the gold helmed armour set because it's got better poison resistance. So let's talk to Ziegmar. Well, he's asleep, obviously.
Oh ho! Excuse me, I was so absorbed in thought I just drifted away. You see, I'm actually in a bit of a fix.
That's surprising, really.
This far, but I'm short on antidote moss for the trip back. By my knighthood, I'm ashamed to ask, but can you spare a few scraps of moss?
Yep. So it's free, takes off you.
Thank you. A saint you are. This Knight of Katarina expresses his deepest gratitude. I shall not forget this. Please, take this, a symbol of my appreciation.
So you get his...
Our fates do seem entwined, don't they? Perhaps this, too, is the will of Lord Gwyn.
So this is the first suggestion that Lord Gwyn might actually still play an active role in the story. He seems to be suggesting that he's still alive. Anyway, you get the Pierce Shield, and it continues his storyline. We'll meet him again later on. What to do after that is you maybe do a bit of farming. That's what I did. And then once you've done the farming, come back to the Daughter of Chaos bonfire. You just go through Quaelag's domain. Yeah, I killed the Fair Lady, as she's called, Quaelag's sister, because I wanted the Firekeeper's soul. And I mentioned, obviously you can't warp to the bonfire if there's no Firekeeper present. And I mentioned in the previous episodes that the biggest downside of doing that is that, and it's not really a downside, but the biggest apparent downside is twofold. One, you can't join the Chaos Covenant, Daughter of Chaos Covenant, and also you don't get access to the shortcut between Demon Ruins and Lost Izalith. But it's totally worthless because you need to give Relic Fair to humanity to get the shortcut activated anyway. Anyway, repair all your weapons, upgrade your character stats, blah blah blah. In the next episode we'll finish up Demon Ruins. It's nice, I like it, it's a decent area. And we'll take on these 8, you can see them in the distance, 8 I think it is, Taurus demons, 8 or 10 Taurus demons. and they're guarding a couple of decent items. So we'll take them on in the next episode. And that was another reason I bought poison arrows, because there's a number of ways that you can take these guys out. And I'd read about poison arrows being one of them, using the Ring of Fog as well. Anyway, I hope this episode helped.